Hey, how you doing? So yesterday I made a post on a major media platform's Facebook page, and the comments just blew up. I've never had that many people respond to something that I've said. I've been more active lately. I did create an alias. That's not really my name, but for obvious reasons, I'm trying to protect myself and my family from being doxxed or worse. Okay, so I did this. Because I really felt the need to engage people at a greater level. And folks that live in the cities, I really feel bad for you because you guys really don't know much beyond life in the city. And it's comfortable for you. Everything outside of that is foreign. You see things out in the country and you see deliverance, which is why you guys think that we're stupid. And you know what? There's a lot of country people that think that y'all are stupid. I mean, you're literally stuck in a concrete jungle. You've voted for the same politicians that have kept you guys in your current condition for decades, and it's just a cycle of poverty and crime and high taxes and empty promises that these Democrat politicians in these blue states and these blue cities keep selling y'all, and you keep buying it over and over and over again. Some people would call that insanity. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Okay, but you guys keep putting those people in place because you really want to avoid accountability to a higher power, really, and that's a whole other topic. Okay, I don't really want to get into that. What I really want to focus on is all the people that say that Trump is ignorant, and on the same token, the people that wanted to say that Obama was ignorant. Folks, if you think that you can become the president of the United States and be ignorant, then you are ignorant, okay? Trump defeated all the challengers. I think there was how many people was it that was running in the Republican Party against President Trump? Career politicians. Dude had never been a politician. He just played the game, okay? You don't rise to that level and beat those people. What does that make all of those other people? And we're talking about state senators. We're talking about major business leaders and people that have been involved. We're talking doctors that he ran against, that he defeated to become the president. You don't get there being ignorant. Now, you may be ignorant of some things, but wholly as a general statement to call somebody ignorant when they've ascended to that level is ignorance, okay? Because you're just generally unaware of what it takes to be able to get there. Barack Obama is not ignorant. I don't like Barack Obama, but it's because of the substance of his character and the actions that we see coming out of that. The things that happened in Benghazi, the push to be able to indoctrinate people to accept abnormal behaviors as normal, to just to be tolerant. Just be tolerant. And then tolerance becomes not enough, then it's support. And if you don't support us, if you don't agree with us wholeheartedly that a woman has the right to be able to abort her baby up until the day that that baby is born, then you're a bigot and you're a xenophobe. And if you think that we need to have control over our borders to limit who comes in, then you're racist. Just different things like that. I mean, look, we have filters for a reason. A border is essentially a filter. We have water filters to trap the bad particulates from coming in. We have air filters in our house to catch the pet dander and just the dust and all the different things that would accumulate in a place that you live to be able to keep the air clean, which is a whole other thing. Our body, God's given us a really great filtration system, but now all of a sudden in 2020, all this time of human history, we've got documented human history from 5500 BC all the way through now. We don't have people wearing masks in mass. Okay, but now all of a sudden you got to wear that trendy mask, which the virus is smaller than the threads that overlap in the masks, and most of those masks, you're just making a bad fashion statement. It's like trying to catch a mosquito with a chain link fence. Folks, look at the people that are working in the labs, the virologists. They're wearing spacesuits. So unless you're wearing a legit full face mask, you're not really doing anything but playing a mind trick on yourself that you're safe and you're protected. Okay, there's studies out there that say the masks aren't necessarily that effective. The main thing that makes them effective is that the air can't come out as fast and go as far, but it still lingers and it hangs on the outside of your mask. The N95 mask doesn't even filter the air back out. It's designed to filter air that comes in, but it's blowing back into an already contaminated environment. Okay, so for the people that want to call Trump supporters ignorant, That in itself is ignorant. You are judging an entire group of people. And sure, there's probably some Trump supporters that are ignorant. There's ignorant people all around us, okay? But just because we support Trump doesn't make us ignorant. And just because you support Biden doesn't necessarily make you ignorant. It just makes you deceived. And look, Donald Trump is not perfect, make no mistakes. The dude runs his mouth too much. He's way too prideful, and he brags, and he's had multiple wives and adulterous relationships and just the things that come out of his mouth. But hey, the choice could not be clearer, folks. You've got Donald Trump, who has spent 40-some months in government. This is the main point I've been making. 40-some months versus 47 years, okay? And Donald Trump has played the game to get himself to the status that he is in now and the status that led him to where he could become the president, okay? But you got Joe Biden, 47 years in government, wrote the crime bill that locked a lot of African Americans up for the less popular drug of crack cocaine that wasn't in the high circles like the cocaine, just the pure powder. So the white guys, the businessmen, they just got a little slap on the wrist for having a little powder. But the brothers, they had crack cocaine. They went in jail. They did hard time. It disrupted the family dynamic. If you haven't seen the movie Kill the Messenger, highly recommend that you go and see that. And it's a true story about how our own CIA was used to funnel hard drugs into major U.S. cities in order to disrupt the family dynamic and create the situation that a lot of you guys are seeing come to fruition today, okay? Everybody wants to say, well, Trump is divisive. Trump is not necessarily divisive just because he's a divider. It's just that he's going to stand up against the push to manipulate the collective perception of reality, and he's not going to back down. And sometimes he's going to say things that he shouldn't say, and this and that, whatever. But we're talking about words versus action. Okay, Donald Trump has delivered on so many things. Okay, the Clean Seas Act to be able to help keep our environment nicer. He's dedicated money for federal parks. He has done criminal justice reform. He's allowed people to have the right to try experimental treatments. He's caused the pharmaceutical industry to slash prices. I don't know if you guys saw the report that came out today that we grew 33% during the summer in the third quarter of the year after the COVID pandemic and everything created a huge problem for us. And really, people want to call it a pandemic. They reclassified it. Not enough people are actually dying for this to be a pandemic. Okay, now there's a lot of cases, but that it doesn't mean that all of those cases are necessarily lethal. Okay, and to be completely honest with you, I think I had it back in February. It was miserable. It was not a fun experience. It stole my mojo. But hey, that's what happens when you create a hybrid virus in a lab. So study all that back to 2015. I bet a lot of you don't know that back in February, the head of biochemistry at Harvard was arrested because one of his grad students was a lieutenant in the Chinese army, and he was being funneled hundreds of thousands of dollars to do research on things for the Chinese, okay? And so anyway, they shifted this virus from a lab in North Carolina all the way over to Wuhan, and then obviously it got out. Something happened, okay? And then you've got these people that are talking about this kind of thing happening before. It was kind of like they were trying to set the stage for the events that we're experiencing now, and now here they are, and we're in the middle of it, and it's crazy, and we're just so divided, and we're splintered, and we're fractured, all this, that, and whatever. But who is doing that? Who is the real divider? It's the media. How does the media generate revenue? They generate revenue by selling advertisement. Well, who advertises? It's these huge, major, multinational companies that have brought a bunch of different labels under their umbrella. They have consolidated and merged and brought everything to a point where the entire global economy is pretty easy to control. Back in 2011, 2012, I spent significant time studying the Federal Reserve System and how it works. And I was able to create this document. Now, I couldn't be an ignorant Trump supporter and create a document like this. Now, I'm not the smartest man on the world, okay? I'm just low-end Mensa, okay? But I'm an uncommon, common American, and I have far and above from average intelligence, and you don't have to be super intelligent. Honestly, I've told people before, because I got ADHD too, I said, I think my life would be a little bit easier if my IQ wasn't so high. If I could have like a 100 IQ with my ADHD, maybe I wouldn't get distracted so much. Squirrel. No, I'm just kidding. Not really. But anyway, so I made this. And it says right here, the Federal Open Market Committee is the most important monetary policy-making body in the Federal Reserve System. The FOMC is responsible for formulation of a policy designed to promote economic growth, full employment, stable prices, sustainable pattern of international trade and payments. The FOMC also makes key decisions regarding the conduct of open market operations. Essentially, the FOMC determines the cost and availability of money and credit in the U.S. economy. So they're picking who wins and who loses. And who are the people that are appointing these people to the Federal Open Market Committee? It's our congressional leadership that approves them. The president nominates them, and then Congress is supposed to approve them. But look, when you've got the same people bankrolling Congress as is paying the media, then you end up with a situation where Congress is just going to approve whoever they're told, because it's the same people that are contributing campaign funds. They're the same people that are contributing advertising dollars to the media, getting the media to report things in certain ways to be able to manipulate people's perception of reality. And I ask this question: why is it that the news media and the entertainment industry is so overtly biased toward Trump? It's because he is going after the hand that feeds them. Trump is not under their control. Okay? And at this point, it's pretty obvious that Trump is for America first. You don't have to like him. You're not marrying him. You're not handing him off to your daughter. None of that. You're just saying, this is the dude that's going to get stuff done to help make my country a more livable place. And I'm going to tell you right now, you look at all this information that's coming out about Hunter Biden. You look at all this information that's tying Joe Biden to it, and then how that ties to Obama, and then the Clintons. And folks, I'm going to tell you right now, if you think that the Bushes are just not involved in this at all, then you need to check yourself, because there's no way that it went from Daddy Bush, who was the head of the CIA, as the vice president under Reagan. Then he spends 4 years as president. Look at the time that he ran for re-election. He doesn't really care about getting re-elected. He just wanted that 4 years to set things up how he wanted them, okay? And then you've got Bill Clinton, had it for 8, handed it off to George, had it for 8, handed it off to Barack, had it for 8. They're all on the same team. And a lot of these politicians are. We got some good ones in there that are working for us, but folks, we cannot keep electing the same people that have continued to make the same mistakes, the same empty promises year after year after year. Folks, look at the cities. Why are the cities such a mess? The cities are all ran essentially by Democrats. Now you have smaller cities and you start getting out into urban areas, we have problems, but we don't have the same kind of problems, okay? We have personal responsibility and the freedom to roam and move and do the things that we want to do. We're not forced to wear a mask. We're not forced to be locked down in our homes. And folks that are living in the cities, I feel for you. That would be so rough. You're basically in a lockdown prison camp, indentured servitude type situation in the cities. And if you want to leave the cities, I don't blame you. But don't bring the same garbage ideology out to the rest of the country where we haven't destroyed our cities. Maybe you could come out here and learn a thing or five from us, okay? And improve things for everybody. There's things we can take from you, things that you can take from us. And I get really tired when people want to act like country folks are ignorant because we have a little twang in our speech, okay? Because the truth of the matter is, if things go haywire in the city and you can't find food, what you gonna do, okay? Because I grow my food, I can hunt my food, I can get heat for my family, I can get water for my family, everything and anything that I need to be able to do, I can still take care of my family even if I can't go to the store to get things, okay? And so let's stop bantering back and forth. And when I say honor intelligence, I mean, hey, take a look at who is pushing Biden and Harris, who's bankrolling them, Black Lives Matter, which wants to end the Western prescribed patriarchal family, says it right on their website. It's funded by George Soros. They want to collapse the West. They want to bring the West down, because to bring the West down means that they can bring the whole world further under their control, their thumb, their envelope, okay? I know Trump's not perfect, but let's get behind the dude this time to help society to get to the next hurdle, and maybe somebody better will come along. Democrats, if you wanted to win, you should have picked Tulsi Gabbard. Y'all have a good day.